Namaste. Happy Diwali, everyone. I'm going to take a short break from narrating the Book of Talas and Lokas this week to deal with a series of questions that have been asked by Aaiyanists around the world. Hopefully this will become a series in itself. We shall see. So instead of reading the Book of Lokas and Talas every week, I decided to mix it up a bit and answer some questions that have been asked. So I've been asked to do this also by the Iron World Foundation. So if you have any questions you would like to ask, just message the Iron World Foundation, email them on info@ion.org. That's info@aaiyyyan.org. Message the Patreon site as well, or comment below if you're watching this on YouTube. As usual, all links will be in the description. Oh, okay. So to begin, I have some questions from a supporter, an Aaiyanists supporter called Philip in Europe. I won't mention his full details as he has asked us not to, and we totally respect the privacy of our members and supporters from around the world. So, but suffice it to say, he's been in contact with the Iron World Foundation quite a lot, and he seems a deeply spiritual person who has experienced many paths in this life and his previous ones as well. Anyway, so the first question is this. I'm going to paraphrase the questions that I have received, so apologies to the questioner, Philip, if I've missed the point of the question. I've only just seen these this morning, so I've been trawling through them. I was going to read a series of questions from many people, but I just wanted to keep this one quite short. I'll perhaps read out another question next week. We'll see how it goes. So if Philip or anyone else is just watching, you can comment below. If you're watching the YouTube channel, that is, or reply to the Iron World Foundation, and or reply to the Patreon site people, and they'll forward it to me, or I'll copy and paste it to the comment. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so question, statement 1. I'll actually read it out from what I've been gathered. So the question is this: after summoning spirits like Rakshasi Lankini, should I ask them to depart or not? I'm still quoting the question, the statement. So the questioner asks, I did summon it once and asked it for my wish, but after like 5 minutes, this spirit was still there. Also the power was tremendous, like something very big there. And it was hard to depart it. So I asked it a couple of times to depart, so it left. So it leave you. Yeah. Yeah, many Aaiyanists around the world don't speak English as their first language, so that's okay. There's another part of the question. At your Patreon pages, there are pictures sigils that I understood that each of them can be summoned, but the question is, if they are required to depart after speaking to them my wish or not. So, okay, I had a look at this question this morning. So as I understand the question, you're asking, if you're practicing Tantric Aaiyyanism and you summon an entity, for example, should you ask the entity to leave after summoning and after asking for a favour or wish? I think that's what you're asking. Do correct me if I'm wrong. So the question is, you summon an entity, should you ask it to leave after speaking with it for a while? As you know, I'm not a Tantric Aaiyyanist, but I have followed many different paths, so I do know a bit about it. The short answer is no. Emphatically no. In fact, as a Tantric Aaiyyanist, the whole point in summoning entities is to become one with the entity that you're trying to summon. Thus the reason a powerful Rakshasi such as Lankini was somewhat reluctant to depart, as it is, how can I put it, a confusing state of affairs, a confusing thing, a confusing state to be in. How can I explain this? Think of it from the perspective of the entity. So you think of it from the perspective of the entity, if you empathise in that sense. Someone, the questioner, for example, has gone to the trouble of summoning her, Rankini, and it does take effort in becoming attuned to the tala and to the entity, so it takes a lot of trouble and effort. She, like other negative demonic entities, wishes to then commune and become one with the summoner. So she wishes to become, yes, but then you're effectively asking her to depart, leave, go away, or after you've asked a favour. I'm not saying it's rude, and that's not what I'm saying. It's more subtle than that. It's sort of missing the point of the exercise. It takes a great deal of effort to summon entities, and then you ask them to leave. The entity in yourself, in Tantric Aaiyyanism, should in fact be looking to merge in a form of what's it called in the English word, adosism, not exorcism, but adosism, which is the main tenet of the Tantric path. And adosism is when you willingly try to merge yourself and an entity together, as opposed to exorcism, where somebody's trying to take the entity, you're being possessed or something, and you're trying to split the two beings from each other. So this is an adosism, and that's the Tantric path of Aaiyyanism. The wish, when you ask the favour or the wish is secondary, or actually, in my experience, not that important to the entity you summon, or even to yourself. The favour you ask is irrelevant to the real power of becoming one with each other. So the favour is really irrelevant to the real power of actually merging two beings into one. It's the knowledge and the hidden and unseen worlds, mindsets, feelings and realities that you will both experience that is more important. Remember that fragments of the entity gets to understand and live in this realm also. So it's a two-way traffic. That word, I'm not sure. It's a communion between a human and the entity that, in theory, will benefit both. That's what I'm trying to say. In Aaiyyanism, the Tantric adept wishes to learn from the entity that they are merging with. I mean, this merging takes time. I mean, it's not immediate. It's a slow process, but that's the sort of goal, the ultimate aim. And the entity would also like another vessel to experience the human condition in this plane. So I'm trying to think of an English word. It's a schizophrenic type scenario where two beings exist in the same person, but they're working together. It's not like they're fighting each other, unlike a state that needs an exorcist, for example. But this is a mutual thing. Now, there's the concept in Aaiyyanism called distributed consciousness, or Puyan. So, distributed consciousness, or Puyan. I know that many English Aaiyanists want to understand the words. Puyan is the word, which means distributed, which consciousness that's distributed. That's what's another word for distributed? That's everywhere, or in select places. So, which basically means that a fragment of an entity that you summon, for example, can exist within you and within others. The best way to describe the process is as follows. How can I? Yeah, if you followed the previous podcasts and other things, if you astrally project and have practiced it so many times that you now have the power to show yourself to people in the astral form, which is quite a rare act, in fact, but some people do it. You can project to one location and another location simultaneously. So two different groups of people will see you even if they are thousands of miles away. Similarly with an entity, you can merge with Rakshasi Lankini, for example, and she can also merge with someone else, not just on this planet, but in a different time or even a different reality, in a different dimension. So in this case, the entity that the Rakshasi merges with will not be of human form, but that's actually okay because we're all part of Brahman. So these entities may not always merge with humans. It's just that we happen to live in this plane. They have many different realities to merge with, and you'll also find that out when you start astrally projecting yourself and travelling. So, where am I going with this? So, in summary, the point is that you'll gain knowledge when you summon an entity, and so you'll gain knowledge and understanding, and the entity you summon, commune with, and merge with will gain further understanding of this realm also, this Tala Loka space we observe in this universe. Actually, if you listen to the previous podcast, we know that this realm we live in now is not a Tala or like it's a mixture of many different things, in fact. And in fact, actually, this realm we exist in is actually quite important, as it acts as a conduit for other realms, both positive, negative, dark light, etc. But there are actually, that means it's not that important. I mean, it is quite important, but there are other similar universes out there that exhibit similar qualities, and you'll see that when you start to begin your astral journeys. Okay. So I think that I've answered that question. I've rambled on a bit. So, in summary, when you summon an entity, do not ask it to leave, but try to embrace it. Try to keep it with you, if that makes sense. So that's the first part of that question answered. Though if I've got the point of the question wrong, please just message us again, and I'll try to get it right this time. Okay, so I've got a series more steps here now. Not steps, more questions. I shall just look at this. Oh, okay. So I think this is the same question. It could be something else. I made a couple of MP3 audios upon your pictures, your Yantras. So far, they worked well. Okay, that's good. That's excellent news. I thought I would highlight that one. So because this is the sort of proactive Aaiyyanism that I really applaud. you are reconnecting with your ancient incarnations and your modern ones as well, and sort of marrying the two to enhance and bind that link between the Yantras and yourself. In fact, I recommend that all Aaiyanists do what you're doing and follow your lead. So, okay, so that's yes. Oh, there's another part to this as well. I'll just read it out. This will be an additional question. Can I creating energy-based creations upon these pictures? Regarding this, it will be a cool idea to embed them into Orgonite. So can I create energy-based creations upon these Yantras, I believe I suppose. It would be a cool idea to embed them into Orgonite. Yes, you can and you should, is the answer to that. Aayanism is vocational in its practice. It's not up to me, the high Aayanis, the masters, or the Iron Wealth Foundation to dictate how you should exhibit your spiritual faith, your Aayanist faith or beliefs. It's simply due to the instinctual memory that comes from remembrance of your past lives. So the questioner who's asked this obviously has been doing this for many lifetimes, so that's the impression I get. And in fact, most people listening to this podcast in English were Aayanists in previous incarnations, or at least crossed the path of Aayanism. So, yeah, in fact, the other day I was speaking with a German person who was interested in Aayanist thought. They were from a different spiritual tradition, but they could remember an incarnation of theirs hundreds of years ago, in fact, where they briefly attended an Aayanist retreat or school, and thus had a deep affinity for Dravidian Aayani, and they could understand the context of the script, but not quite the full meaning. So they had some remembrance of memory, instinctual memory, which I think this other the person who's asking the question is also exhibiting as well. Anyway, back to the question. So you must follow your instinctual memory and allow the yantra to guide you. So if you draw the yantra on wood, embed them into stone or paint them on canvas, please do so. It's you're becoming more attuned to it by continually drawing the yantra. You become attuned to where it's opening, whether it's a tunnel or a loka or some other space. So if you also have other faiths and beliefs, like if you channel organs or other forms of esoteric energy, which is actually a subset, according to Aayanist beliefs anyway, of energy from various lokas, or some cases talas or whatever. So if you channel these energies, which in your case I believe is is organs, because you're using Orgonite, then please do embed them into Orgonite, as that's what you're attuned to. So it's your memory. It's like when you first learn to walk. You can always walk, like riding a bicycle. You can always ride a bike. It's your ancient memories coming back and telling you how to become more attuned. So yeah, follow your instincts. Another Aayanist asks if they're allowed to sell some of their works that they're doing. They're painting yantras. Like, yeah, you are allowed to sell your works to others to help them and yourself, as we all live in the material plane and have to exist in this how can I call it, a financial construct. Yeah. This financial jail. No, I wouldn't say that. No, this material prison. No. I'm just joking. We live in this materialistic financial construct. So ideally, we should just live in the spiritual domain, just like a proper Aayanist retreat where you grow your own food and self-sufficient, and all things like macro-material things like houses and living areas, they're all shared. But actually, while I'm on this topic, I'm going to break from the questions for a second and just... Aaiyyanist retreats are not usually open to non-Aaiyanists until they've reached a certain level. I sort of disagree with this position, making my feelings known. So I'm actually thinking about creating my own centre of Aayanism. If people are interested, just let me know. Oh, there's fireworks going on in the background, Diwali, and it's all happening. I do not think I'll get into trouble from any, actually pre-Diwali, I believe. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. Anyway, I do not think I'll get into trouble from any Aayanist schools or the Aaiyanists Foundation about me trying to set up my own, I wouldn't say my own, I mean our own retreat somewhere. But I think that if we wish to spread this message, then we need to start setting up international schools of Aayanism. You know, it's just a thought. I don't know if I'm so busy, I don't know if I'll have time to even consider it, but if anyone's interested, just let me know. If there's like 20, 30 people, that might be a bit too small, but if there's hundreds, then yeah, maybe we could make a go of it somewhere. Yeah, unless I know many Aaiyanists are at a certain level and they will always go to their retreats, and I've been to one as well. But people who are just joining, find Aayanism is not. We had things many years ago where people join and leave, and it was just there was a lot of spiritual energy spent on this act. So anyway, so that's my thought on that. So I hopefully you've answered all the questions, and I've what's the word? Advertised that I'm thinking of setting up a retreat somewhere. Okay, but maybe you'll never hear from me again. No, I'm just joking. I'll send this to the Aayanist Patreons and see if they probably won't say anything. Their Aayanism is very easygoing. But I will speak to you again tomorrow or in the next few days with the update on the prayer list. So we've got some more names on the prayer list, and I will add those names to make it bigger. And also, I know a lot of people are commenting as well that they're practicing. I know people have messaged the Neigh-Lail Foundation as well, not in the YouTube comments, but and they're also practicing. So it's good that we've got several people doing it. So that's nice. Hopefully we'll build it up to a big thing and send positivity to the world. Anyway, okay. Thanks for listening, and keep sending your questions in. I might answer the questions next week, or I might just continue on with the book of Talents and Locus, or I might have several sections. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I shall see you soon. Bye.